welcome back. This is the inmotion V14-50s review from the perspective of a rider that prefers trail riding and jumping. I love my street cruisers, but for me personally, trail riding is my happy place. Now this will be a pretty limited review as I've recently had an accident which ended up with me having a torn meniscus, which I can tell you straight off the bat is a really nasty injury to suffer, and the recovery is slow with nothing guaranteed in the prospects of returning back to 100% of my normal self or my abilities. You have to excuse this review for not being one that crosses over all the different disciplines of EUC and being limited to where I was actually able to ride it before I broke myself. So also this video will be segmented along the timeline and broken up into categories for you to be able to easily return to any parts of particular interest. Please also note that I've added some custom modifications to my V14, which include the E-Rides adjustable height pedal hangers. I've also got a 3D printed seat, which you can see on the back here, that doesn't block the tail light. And then I've also got 3D printed jump pad toe hooks to give me just a little bit more extra grab for jumping. So what do you get? The V14-50s has IPX6 rated wheel, IPX7 rated batteries, 16 by 3 inch wheel, and a Youngster all-terrain tire. 4,000 watt C40 motor with a peak output of 9 kilowatts. A modular 134 Raptor controller with 42 MOSFETs and 18 capacitors. 4x600 watt-hour swappable batteries, totaling 2400 watt-hour of Samsung 21700 50s batteries. The ability to charge at 16 amp through a weather-sealed dual-plug port. Compression and dampening adjustable progressive coil suspension with 85 millimeters of travel. Adjustable angle headlight with a shaped beam. Bright LCD screen to show you the vitals. The wheel comes in at 39 kilograms, a top speed of 70 kilometers an hour, estimated range of 120 kilometers, subject to rider weight, riding style, terrain, and real-world numbers for most of us should be expected somewhere between the 70 to 80 kilometer range. A max climb angle of 50 degrees, smart battery management system that integrates with a highly polished and intuitive smartphone app to give you access to battery status and individual cell health, as well as custom controls to dial in personal settings and the ride characteristics. Also the daytime running light and a slew of other info. So it's no secret that inmotion leads the pack when it comes to design and build quality, and if their recent design awards aren't proof enough, then let's take a closer look at what makes inmotion a dominating force in this area with what you get with the V14-50s. This wheel is all about being modular. The design enables owners to perform their own maintenance with as much user friendliness as possible. If you need to change the motherboard, aka the Raptor controller, it's enclosed as a separate module and can very easily be replaced. Tire changes can be performed rapidly on this wheel with just a few bolts that need undoing to remove the battery pack, giving you access to screws to drop the wheel. Video link in the description. This also means that you can even swap out batteries reasonably quickly if you desired to own a second set, or perhaps you needed to strip it down for transport.
The design is very human, and people with 2 legs would be very envious of us.
The build quality is on par with inmotion's current lineup. The materials are high quality and the construction is well thought out for the most part. There is a mix of CNC, aluminium, molded plastic, and strong hardware. The plastic areas, naturally they feel plasticky in an effort to reduce overall weight and offer replaceable parts in the event of a crash. But overall the wheel feels solid and well put together. It has an added bumper protection and critical areas that I've already stress tested them and appear to have done their job reasonably well, minus one crack in the plastic where I had a really pretty solid head-on crash straight to the front. Of course it's not indestructible, however it can take a few impressive hits and be able to brush them off, so it's worth mentioning. Included in the box is a spare set of those bumpers as well for when they do get damaged. So I was truly expecting to have a lengthy break-in period with this wheel to get comfortable on it. And I was super happy and quite surprised to find that it had a very short learning curve. And I was feeling confident on the wheel in an unexpectedly small time frame. And this is one of the few wheels that immediately have a sense of intuitive control. This in itself will prove especially valuable to beginner riders learning how to ride, and it will offer advantages compared to other wheels in the high performance category, enabling the beginner rider to choose a wheel that they aren't likely to outgrow after the first 3 months when their skill levels are progressing. The V14 will be a solid first choice to keep the rider challenged throughout the life of the wheel. Now, I could definitely say that I got a little bit too comfortable on it after shifting across from the inmotion V13. I ended up finding my own limits on this wheel and eating dirt a few times. That being said, that was 100% rider error, and I needed to not let my excitement get the better of me. It was purely how this wheel just delivered so much torque, all the torque I could ask for, and the overall balance and weight of the wheel and the intuitive ride feel gave me the belief that I'd somehow now unlocked the ability for limitless sends, which of course is pretty stupid. That's not how you should get to know any new wheel. Don't do that. Don't be like Dave. Dave. Honestly though, it's a really fun wheel to ride, and the suspension feels and performs great. The adjustable settings on it have a big impact on ride feel and performance, although I would like to ask inmotion if it was possible to produce a stiffer progressive spring on the back for heavier riders like myself. If you fall into the average weight class, then you'll be right at home with this. I might add, I reckon we should probably see a few more girls hitting the trails on this wheel. The power and weight ratio of this wheel would be a weapon combination for the girls. The torque on this thing is absolutely insane. You've heard it before from all the other YouTubers, and it's no joke. This thing has incredible amounts of pull. This wheel will do exactly as inmotion's tagline states, which is climb hills with ease, and then some. Having the ability to dig your toes in and have 850 Newton meters of tractive force at your disposal will get you across most of whatever terrain you can throw at it, and do it with a smile. This especially comes in handy when, let's say you're on a trail and you have a tricky section that you may have not have picked the best line going up a steep incline. You have to come to a complete stop on the hill face, and instead of having to push any other wheel to a flat spot to sort of get you up and running again, this has got enough torque and drive to just be able to allow you to jump up on your toes real quick and just do what it does best and get you moving. It's respectively fast. Of course, it's not going to compete with the 18 to 20 inch wheel siblings, but 70 kilometers an hour on a 16-inch wheel is no slouch, and it feels stable at higher speeds, and there's even the peace of mind knowing that the beeps are followed by an assertive pedal tilt back. You're not going to be able to ignore that, provided that you don't stomp your way through that and challenge the concept of a little dirt never hurt. This wheel handles superbly. The amount of fine control is amazing, and will only enable me to become a better rider across most disciplines, whether that be street attack, trails, jumping, pump tracks, technical or tricks. Well, at least when I'm physically capable of being able to do this again. My soul is absolutely crushed that I only just scratched the surface of what this wheel is capable of, and I've gone and sidelined myself for the winter season, which in Australia offers some of the best riding days year round. So a moment's silence whilst I pray for my knee that it doesn't require surgery. In the name of the tire, the battery and the motor, I invoke thee, electric unicycle promoter. May my tire never deflate, my pedals stay true, and my speed be governed by the voltage I accrue. Upon this digital altar I beseech, for healing, strength, and a speedy reach. My meniscus torn, my knee in pain, grant me respite from this earthly strain. May a gyroscopic grace descend, and mend my joint, my faithful friend. Let not the surgeon's blade draw near, instead whisper secrets in my ear. Guide my rehab, my therapy's course, so I may ride once more with no remorse. With shred Lord brethren by my side, we'll send the trails our spirits wide. Electric wind at my face, as I reclaim my unicycle grace. So hear me plea, O unicycle divine. Keep me upright, aligned, and in line. And when the trails call, I shall obey, for I am but a rider seeking the electric way. Well, and a fitting segue from that moment of illumination, let's have a chat about the headlight. It is really bright and has a shape beam on it to help not blind oncoming traffic. You can change the angle, which is a help if you're going down or up long section of hills. And it has a sweet looking daytime running light, which you can toggle on and off inside the app. before I injured myself, I've had some experience jumping the V14, and whilst I was still in the stage of warming up to hitting the larger jumps and understanding how this behaves, I can definitely say that the issues that plagued the earlier versions of firmware have all been ironed out, and the wheel feels controlled and predictable with no signs of unwanted behaviours. The only thing I needed to be aware of with a 16-inch wheel is the decreased distance between the edge of my toes and the face of the jump. On more aggressive kicker style jumps, one would want to be careful not to hit them too quickly, as the risk of having the toe strike on the face of the jump when the suspension compresses is even higher. Exponentially more if the jump is somewhat of an uneven rocky surface and one that has tracks worn through it. That being said, this wheel is a little sender and it feels awesome to jump. Battery life, when you look at all things, the battery life is great. If you consider what it isn't a long-range wheel, so expectations should be in line with the hardware that's on offer. In my tests, I'm at 110 kilograms all up weight with my ride gear, and I was getting approximately 70 kilometers. I'm not a conservative rider. I like speed, I like deep carves, I like hills, I like technical terrain. So in reality, it's pretty respectable for a 39 kilogram wheels that delivers high levels of torque, 70 kilometers an hour top speed, and a chonky boy on top to boot. If you tried to run through the entire battery during technical and challenging trail riding, the average rider will run out of energy before the battery will run out of energy. So for a day's riding at the trail riding or bike parks, it's excellent. Of course, if pavement is more your thing, then I would recommend getting a high-speed charger and factor in your stopping points where you can maybe grab something to eat or maybe even a bubble tea. The included 3-amp charger takes a long time to charge, and it's heavy. So I understand that with the amount of PV fires being reported in apartment blocks and the need for safe and sensible charging etiquette can't be ignored, but for sure you're going to want to get yourself a high-speed charger for the group rides or multi-ride days, and make use of that available 16-amp charge rate. So if you have a fast charger, remember not to always charge at those rates for optimal battery health. The included charger is going to be perfect for at home for safely topping up your wheel. So speaking of fast chargers, the company PIDZOOM appear to have an impressive range of chargers and charging accessories that promote safe operation. So I'm going to try and get my hands on some of their products to be able to get them in here in the studio to test them out and for you guys to check out as well. The inmotion app is a well-designed and intuitive solution to enable you to change wheel settings on the fly, check on individual cell health, troubleshoot any issues, or update the firmware and more. It has always worked flawlessly for me, so it's never been buggy or inconvenient. In my opinion, another tick to the inmotion ecosystem. So here in Australia at the time of recording the video, the V14-50s version retails for 5,299 Australian dollars. Depending where you are in the world, obviously that'll depend on what that number will be for you, so check your local distributor. If eRides UK is local for you, then use my affiliate link for a 5% discount. The price is on the higher side for wheels in the 16-inch category, but don't forget that that includes a legit IPX6 waterproof rating, industry-leading and award-winning design features, high-quality components. You don't need to go out spending another $1,000+ to getting the suspension to perform with accessories. You can absolutely get away with riding this thing as it is straight out of the box. Straight out of the box, this wheel is a very heavy hitter in the 16-inch wheel category and will quite happily keep up and in some cases outperform its counterparts. So it feels awesome to ride. That's the hardest thing to try and convey, as your mileage may vary. It's a very subjective thing. I do think this wheel absolutely rips, and the customizability of the wheel leaves it wide open for a lot of different users' preferences. The Raptor controller is a tried and tested motherboard that dishes out lots of power. The C40 motor is a beast, and the ability to charge the wheel to 80% in under an hour is pretty awesome. The included charger, whilst safe, is very slow to charge. The only other thing I noticed while pushing this wheel hard on technical trails is the battery box tending to be a little bit lower So I've struck a few rocks on the battery box. I believe I experienced this more than most others would, as my weight means the suspension can't quite keep my 110 kilograms up, therefore the battery boxes weren't raised to an optimal height. So I'd say you need to be pretty aware of this when hitting the trails, and also potentially when hitting aggressive kickers and jumps, as you might experience either battery strikes or toe scrapes. So just for you fellow adrenaline junkies, keep that in mind. If the superhuman world of EUC has been enticing for you and you were looking for your first wheel, then I would absolutely recommend this. Potentially even with a street tire. This would be a great experience all around for your first wheel. And if you're an experienced rider, then this would be an awesome addition to your EUC armory, especially if you wanted a little pocket rocket to have fun at bike parks, trails, pump tracks. So despite this being reasonably heavy at 39 kilograms, you'd never know it while riding it. It's an insanely agile and responsive wheel. It comes absolutely packed with features for both customizability and safety. The IPX water rating does put this in one of the most enticing options for being a commuter wheel, and being able to hose the wheel off after a session in the dirt is great. This does require more of an investment up front, as it is more expensive than other offerings in the same class, but it's going to be up to you if you feel like the included features, specifications, pedigree associated with the brand, if all of that's going to be worth it for you, and what kind of performance and reliability you ultimately want to have, as there are pros and cons to this versus other wheels such as the Pattern and the Extreme, which in my honest opinion are both brilliant wheels. So each possess their own unique certain characteristics that make them shine for different reasons. Thank you all so much for watching. Help my growth and recovery by exchanging a play for a like and ringing that bell. Also remember, I'm just a humble rider like each of you. My opinions shared here are formed from my experiences riding, and I encourage people to share their own experiences with the intent to help this community grow together. Whether that be constructive feedback for the manufacturers or helping advice for our EUC brethren. So just like how we ride, let's keep this moving in a positive direction. Stay safe.
Send it up, get up there.
Have you done this trail before, or that's the way you go? Famous last words.
Oh, where are we going? Check this shit up. Yo, so we're doing some more trail riding. Well, that's not where we want to go today. Oh, fucking sand. Marcus is out here riding with us today. Going hard on my old MSP. Bit of a descent here. Ooh. Shit, I should probably record this from both angles.